Have you ever wondered, this is out there, okay?
Yeah,
If
that's fine.
we are already living in a form of hell?
Not hell, but in Satan's little season.
Mm.
Some people think that Christ already came, but it's not a Christian war.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just using the Christians because they need the Christian support here in America.
This is part 2 with my friend, Christian music artist and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu purple belt, Brandon Delgado. Brandon and I often meet before class to talk about what is going on in the world. And though we disagree on a lot of things, we always listen to each other and have a great conversation. In the first part, we discuss the Christian, Zionist, and other religious roots of the war in Iran, including some conspiracy theories about what really might be going on. We continue our discussion in part 2, getting into Donald Trump and why he was chosen for his role as president, and Brandon's views on the spiritual forces at play in our world today. Some of these theories might feel out there to you, but keep an open mind and enjoy our discussion. I am Doris Smith, an independent journalist. This is the journalism of everything.
But it's funny because also the people of Israel, the citizens of Israel, I think they're deceived as well.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're told from the day they're born until they're able to understand things, or from the ability they're able to understand things, that everyone hates them. They are oppressed. We can't let another Holocaust happen.
Right.
What do you think that does to your psyche?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the people that are in control are these rich, powerful people that are obviously worshiping Satan. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the stuff that's in the Epstein files.
No, I have to limit my Epstein consumption.
These
honestly.
people are,
It's too depressing.
I don't even know
I
if you
read
could say
two
it.
books on it, but yeah.
They are
Yeah.
children.
Yeah. I know
So
that. Yeah.
that's bad.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, so I have this, these are things I think about when I'm driving down the road.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, if you're Jewish, you have reason in your history to believe that you are oppressed. And I mean, there's a lot of
If that
horrible
history
things.
is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
There's things that have happened, right, to
Right.
them. But if you look at just the Arab culture, lots of things have happened to them too. You know, I mean, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
And so I think when I look at that whole situation, I'm like, okay, yeah, I think Jewish people have reason to believe that, but they're
Right.
also doing it to others in an extreme way.
Yeah. It's kind of like Theo Vaughn. He went on the Joe Rogan podcast and he said they were talking about Israel and like they were saying like Israel's trying to stop the terrorists in Lebanon. And Theo Vaughn's like, how are you going to stop the terrorists when you're a terrorist?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But they've been bombing each other over there since Israel first became a thing.
Yeah.
And they did that because they took their land.
Yeah.
They took their land, and then those countries over there hate America because we support Israel.
Right. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Israel, I don't think these countries, I mean, they're not even a threat now,
Right.
but they definitely would not be, we wouldn't even be deceived into thinking that they're a threat, because I think we're being deceived into thinking that they are a threat
Yeah.
when they're not.
Yeah. Well, Tulsi Gabbard.
That's why they say death to America.
Yeah.
Why do you think Iran was burning a statue of Baal, this satanic freaking God thingy with Israel's flag and America's flag, a picture of Epstein. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they were burning a whole
Really?
statue over there. They know that these people worship Satan.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't prove to people that God is real, but I can prove to people that Satan is real.
Right. Yeah.
So if Satan is real, there's got to be a good guy.
Hope so. You know?
These people are worshiping Satan. They are worshiping Satan.
To what end? What does it do for them?
I don't know. Satan is the greatest deceiver and liar ever. He's probably telling these people that we are going to go to war against God and we are going to win in the end. When the Bible says they're not going to win in the end.
Right.
But Satan is so prideful that he's not going to give up until the very end.
Yeah.
Where he's going to be thrown into the lake of fire and spend the rest of eternity in hell.
Have you ever wondered, this is out there, okay?
Yeah.
If
That's
we
fine.
are already living in a form of hell?
Not hell, but in Satan's little season. Some people think that Christ already came in 70 AD. There was a Roman Jewish historian in that time that wrote about soldiers with chariots and armor in the clouds.
Oh, interesting.
You can look that up. Like
Yeah.
his name was Josephus. And
Heard of Josephus.
yeah, and what's funny is that there's a verse in the Bible, Matthew chapter 16, verse 28. I know that verse
That's impressive.
because no, I only know that verse because I made a video. I'm not that good yet. I just made a video about that the other day, and he's talking to his disciples. Jesus is talking to his disciples, and it says, "Some of you standing here will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." Does that sound like he's talking to people 2,000 years later, or does that sound like he's talking to people right then and there?
Yeah.
That sounds like he's talking to them right
Yeah,
there, right?
Right there, yeah.
And if Josephus wrote about soldiers and chariots with armor and horses in the sky, in the clouds, in 70 AD, after death, after Jesus Christ's
Right.
death,
Yeah.
that kind of would make sense unless these people are going to live 2,000 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he also wrote about a man going around performing miracles and that was crucified by the Roman government for, the stuff that he was saying. He also wrote about that too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah.
I know. I when I think about
So
that, yeah.
So to answer to your question, the Satan's little season, people, because in the Bible it says that when Christ returns, there's going to be a millennial reign, 1,000-year millennial reign. And then after that, it says that Satan will be let out again to deceive the nations once more. So there's a possibility that we could be living in that time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know for sure.
not gonna
It doesn't change my faith in Jesus Christ. It doesn't even change it doesn't even go against the Bible. If you believe that.
Right.
It's just saying that these things that in the Bible already happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who knows? Because all this stuff that's happening right now is biblical with Israel.
Yeah.
It's in the book of Revelation, it says that that the nations of the world are going to gather all their armies against Israel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you see what's happening right now, everybody hates Israel. So what do you think would happen if all the nations of the world just said, "Hey, we're going to go and take our armies and destroy Israel"? Do you think that people would object to that?
Right now?
No.
No.
And it's only going to get worse. I mean, why do you think all this stuff is coming out?
Yeah.
And I can openly talk about the Zionist Jews on Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
Who do you think controls Instagram? A Zionist Jew controls Instagram. A Zionist Jew controls YouTube. They control everything. Like, they say they don't control everything, but then when you say something about them, they can just ban you from everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Although
how can they ban you from everything if they don't control everything?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. One thing I found interesting is, so I did a couple episodes on like Iran and why they hate us, or sort of just the political history with the
Right.
United States. And those actually did pretty well. Like I got a lot of impressions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then I did 2 episodes on Netanyahu, and it was like, oh,
Boom.
the desert.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying anything against him. I was just saying this is his history.
Oh yeah.
You know, what scares me about him is, well, a lot of, but he was raised like a revisionist Zionist, you know, but he is wicked smart. Went to MIT,
Yeah.
got 2 degrees in 4 years and fought the Yom Kippur War in the middle of it. I do not believe Donald Trump was very smart. I think he is, especially right now, he's in his mental state, but I don't think like he's just a smart man.
Yeah.
I think he's a shrewd man.
He's a different person now.
Yeah.
From his first term.
Yeah, he is. But I feel like he was picked because he's easily manipulated. That's
I think they're all picked. I don't think you become president unless you're picked.
Why him? Why do you think him?
I think he was made for that. He was bred for that since a young age. Yeah, I don't know. I think him because he doesn't give a F. He doesn't care. And he says what he wants, and he's the perfect character for that. To go to war with Iran, but do what the right wants and kind of get them on his side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's the perfect mold for that. Just that I don't know, the right, that masculine type thing for the right. But he completely went back on everything that he ran on.
Yeah.
For this second term.
Yeah.
And he played all of us, but the people that still support him, he played them too, and they're still supporting him.
Still being played.
Yeah. If you're not able to think outside, if you're not able to think outside of your political party and hold them accountable for, whatever, you're just a slave to your party. You can't even, But I even though I voted for Trump, I was never like for the Republicans. I never trusted the government ever since I was 16. I was a conspiracy theorist at 14, 15, 16.
Oh, really?
So all this stuff that's happening right now with Epstein and like just the world, like I kind of already knew a lot of it except the Jew stuff.
Yeah.
But I liked Trump at first because I thought he could make a difference. I actually thought he could make a difference. And his first term was all right, in my opinion. But this second term, he just completely went back on everything he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
So
I think he sees the opportunity to make a lot of money in this term. I think
he got over $100 million.
Well, he's
Zionist money
through the Trump organization. He's in the trillions now.
And do you know about him being bailed out from a money situation in the 90s or 80s or something like that?
I know he's declared bankruptcy a few times.
Okay, I think it might have been something like that, but it was a Zionist Jewish man that bailed him out. So it kind of like, that kind of like tells you like, oh.
Yeah, I just don't, of all the people, I don't understand why him.
Yeah, and have you seen that Simpsons episode where he's depicted as the president? He wins the presidency. I think that's a real episode, or it's not AI, but it's virtually identical to when he won and came down that escalator. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, I did.
It's virtually identical to that, and that episode came out
like a long time.
So when you're a conspiracy theorist like me, like you see that and they're like, you're like, well, he was chosen for this. Why do you think they gave us such a terrible candidate, Kamala, to go against him?
Yeah,
it's like it's not what's it called, it's not being faked or rigged, but they purposely give you a terrible candidate that both sides hate. But Democrats didn't like Kamala. Maybe some did. Maybe some voted for her just for their hate for Trump. You know what I mean?
I thought she was better than Biden, honestly, but she didn't.
They're all terrible. They're all terrible.
I know that's the thing that gets me when people are online on social media. when I make the mistake of looking at comments and they're like, "Oh, you're just the liberal," and I'm like,
They call me a liberal too. I'm the furthest thing from a liberal.
"Oh, that's funny."
Oh man.
But the thing is, you and I've talked about this. I don't worship politicians and I don't follow politicians.
It's good.
When you're in the military for 7 years, I don't. I was a believer, to be honest with you. I was like, "Go America."
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I went into the military because I really needed college money.
Yeah.
I mean, I was patriotic, but I also was like, I really
need this
money.
money. Yeah.
My parents were like, "Oh, by the way, we don't have any."
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
fine. But then I had to go to a war.
Right.
And at the time, I think you sort of have to turn off your brain and just do what you have to do.
Well, you have to do what you're told, right?
But I just remember being there and we don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? And I could cite a million examples of that. And that's where I started not believing in
Right.
politicians and the government.
Yeah.
But government is still important because it still runs a lot of our lives, unfortunately.
That's the problem.
But going back to, so as someone who is, I'm not going to say, I'm not religious in that I don't go to church. I have a problem with a lot of churches. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Same.
Yeah. And I'm still kind of figuring out my beliefs. So when I look at a war that essentially has very religious roots, I'm like, but what if none of this is real? And why, we're starting these wars? Why?
Yeah, well, the Zionists are starting the wars, and they've deceived the Christians that don't read their Bible into believing if we don't support these guys, then God isn't going to.
Yeah.
But it's not a Christian war.
Yeah.
They're just using the Christians because they need the Christian support here in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the money is.
It's I don't know if it's about Greater Israel. Have you heard of Greater Israel?
Mm-mm.
If you look at the IDF, they wear a patch, and it has a layout of Greater Israel, which is that's why they want to take over these other countries.
Yeah.
Is to expand
Okay.
Israel, so it has like the map or just like the layout of the country, the patch of what that would look like, and it goes into I think some bits of Lebanon, Syria, not Iran, but they want to take Iran out because they're always bombing each other.
Yeah.
They're neighbors, literally. So
yeah.
I mean, they want to take Iran out.
Yeah. I know. And here we sit in America where, missiles can reach us, but it's not like an everyday thing.
But they also want to usher in the Antichrist. It says in the Bible that once these things start to happen, that the Antichrist is going to come. But they believe that is their Messiah. They don't believe that it's Satan.
Right. Yeah. So that's what confuses me. Sometimes I feel like people treat Trump that way.
Yeah.
But I think we're maybe giving him too much power if we say he's the Antichrist.
I think he's just setting the stage for a new world order. And that's not a conspiracy theorist, because you've heard presidents talk about we need a new world order.
Yeah.
That's going to involve a one world government, where there's going to be digital ID, digital currency. You are going to be a slave to the government. If you say the wrong thing, you're not going to be able to take the bus today, or you're not going to be able to travel into the next city over, or you're not going to be able to put gas in your car today. You said this about, but it's going to become about, saying things against the government and saying things against the Zionists. They're already trying to pass laws in Florida.
Oh, really? Oh, Florida.
Anti-Semitism laws where, that violates our free speech. It's crazy. And of all states, a red state where you have Governor DeSantis, but that just goes to show you who he supports as well. But politics isn't going to save us.
No, I agree.
Politics isn't going to save us.
It can ruin us.
Yeah, it's going to ruin us.
Yeah, that's
because
what's scary to me.
We need to unite against the government.
Yeah.
but we're not ever going to, because we can't decide on collectively on what is right and what is wrong.
No matter if you believe in God, if you are a Christian, are Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, Democrat, or Republican, or something else, we should all believe that human beings should be treated in a certain way, with respect and with compassion. I've said in previous episodes that I do not know exactly what I believe about God, but what I do see is that human beings often use their religion to control other people or to assert that they are better than others because of it. The Christianity that I grew up with isn't about this at all. So I get really confused when Christians in America distort the lessons and verses of the Bible to assert their authority and control over others. This makes me and others run screaming away from Christianity and all religion for that matter. Though I don't usually believe in conspiracy theories, or at least I have a lot of skepticism about them, what Brandon has made me realize is that the average person living their lives, the ones just trying to make it through the day, take care of their children, go to their jobs, take care of their families, trying to enjoy things in life, we are the ones being controlled by decisions of the elite. The elite being those with money and those in power or with a history of a powerful family name. Maybe you don't think the decisions of politicians affect you, but that is probably because you aren't paying attention. I don't know what to do about it, honestly, besides vote and use our voices in whatever way we have to speak out about injustices. I use my YouTube channel and social media to speak about things that I believe are important, but I also just try to live my life in service to others in whatever way I can. Often I feel like all of these things are happening at this macro level that I can do nothing about, but at least I can help those in my community around me. It feels small, but if we all lived lives of service, it could turn into something really big. Join me next week for the conclusion of my discussion with Brandon Delgado. Episodes come out every Tuesday. If you like this content, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. This is the journalism of everything.